Have you ever had that feeling where your entire life, everything you thought was ordinary, predictable, maybe even a little boring, suddenly flips upside down in a single moment? Like fate just walked into your room and whispered, "You were never meant for a quiet life." That's exactly where it begins. A small village, a group of young friends, nothing out of the ordinary, until it all comes crashing down with the arrival of something ancient, powerful, and terrifying. That's how the wheel of time starts. And trust me, once it turns, there's no going back. Now here's what's fascinating. Robert Jordan didn't just write a story, he built a universe. One where time isn't linear, but a wheel endlessly spinning, cycling through ages. Imagine that everything that's happened will happen again. History isn't just repeating, it's evolving. And in the middle of that grand cycle, we meet Rand al'Thor. Just a farm boy. Or so he believes. He lives in the village of Emond's Field with his father Tam, in the peaceful region of the Two Rivers. Rand's biggest worry? Maybe girls. Maybe sheep. Maybe what's for dinner. But fate doesn't care about peace. Because one night, everything burns. Shadowy creatures called Trollocs, half man, half beast, storm into the village. Screaming, killing, setting homes on fire. And the only reason they're there? Him and a few others, Matt, Perrin, Egwene, and Nynaeve. These kids, who've known each other their whole lives, suddenly find themselves hunted for a reason they can't even begin to understand. Why them? What makes them so important? That's where Moiraine comes in. She's an Aes Sedai, a woman who can wield the one power, a kind of magic that's both beautiful and dangerous. With her is her mysterious companion, Lon, a warder sworn to protect her with his life. And Moiraine? She knows something the others don't. She believes one of these young people is the Dragon Reborn. Now hold on, Dragon Reborn? Sounds epic, right? But it's also terrifying. Because in this world, the dragon is a figure from prophecy, someone destined to either save the world or destroy it. And if that sounds like a lot of pressure for a group of teenagers who were just trying to survive a festival, you're absolutely right. But they have no choice. If they stay, their village burns. If they run, they risk their lives. So they run. And this is where things get really interesting. As they flee across the continent, chased by monsters, haunted by dreams, and hunted by the terrifying Myrddraal, faceless creatures that can make your blood run cold, something strange starts happening. Rand begins to change. Not visibly, not in a way anyone can quite describe, but deep inside. He starts seeing things, feeling things. And the scariest part? He doesn't know if he's going mad or awakening to something ancient inside him. Because in this world, men who channel the one power eventually go insane. It's not a possibility, it's a promise. The magic is tainted for men, cursed by the Dark One himself. So if Rand is the Dragon Reborn, that means two things. He might be the most powerful man alive, and he's almost certainly doomed. But let me tell you something surprising. This story isn't just Rand's. Matt is impulsive, clever, and always ready with a joke. But beneath that charm is something darker, an unpredictable force that begins to emerge the deeper they go into the world. Perrin, quiet and thoughtful, starts to hear wolves in his mind. Not metaphorical ones. Real wolves. Speaking to him. Calling to something ancient buried in his soul. Egwene, brave and curious, discovers she might be able to channel the one power too. And Nynaeve, fierce, stubborn, protective, becomes something of a force of nature herself. Each of them, in their own way, is pulled into a destiny much bigger than they ever imagined. And the world they travel through? It's massive, teeming with cultures, politics, histories. There's the White Tower in Tar Valon, home of the Aes Sedai. The mysterious Ale in the desert. The Children of the Light, religious zealots with a bone to pick against anyone who can use magic. And then there's the Dark One, sealed away for now, but his touch is everywhere. In nightmares, in madness, in the subtle ways people turn against each other. His followers, called the Forsaken, are waking up and the world is slowly unraveling. But here's the part that really got me. Despite all the magic, the monsters, the myths, at its core, the Wheel of Time is about choice. About friendship. about growing up when the world is falling apart. These aren't heroes in shining armor. They argue. They mess up. They question themselves constantly. But they keep going. Not because they're fearless, but because they're afraid, and they fight anyway. And isn't that what real courage looks like? There's a moment, just a quiet scene, where Rand, exhausted, lost, and terrified, finds a moment of peace under the stars. He looks up and he wonders if he'll ever get back home. Not to the same place, but to the feeling of safety, of simplicity. And that moment, it hits you. Because haven't we all, at some point, wished we could go back to a time when things were easier? Before the weight of destiny or adulthood or expectations. But that's the beauty of it. We don't go back. We move forward. Like the wheel turns, always forward, always weaving new threads into the pattern. And Rand, Mat, Perrin, Egwene, and Nynaeve, they're the threads now. Pulled by fate, tangled in prophecy, unsure of where it all leads. But one thing is certain, nothing will ever be the same again. And just when you think you've figured out who's who and what's what, Jordan throws in a twist. Because maybe the greatest danger isn't the monsters out there, it's the darkness we carry within. So what happens when the person you trust most begins to change? What do you do when power feels like poison? And what if the world is counting on someone who never asked to be a hero? What do you think happens next? So now imagine this. You're far from home, surrounded by strangers and danger, and every step forward feels like you're walking deeper into something you don't understand. That's exactly what Rand and his friends are going through. And just when they think they're catching their breath, the world shifts again. The dreams get darker, the signs get louder, and the idea of fate stops being a distant, mystical concept. It becomes personal, intimate, heavy, like a crown made of fire you never asked to wear. And here's where Robert Jordan does something genius. He doesn't give you a clean line between good and evil. Every power has a cost. Every character walks a tightrope between light and shadow. Even the Aes Sedai, these incredibly powerful women who are supposed to guide and protect the world, are filled with secrets, manipulation, and ancient rivalries. You start to wonder, are they really the heroes? Or just another piece of the game? And speaking of games, the political layers? Oh, they run deep. Entire nations move like chess pieces on a board you don't even realize you're standing on. The game of houses, they call it, where smiles are weapons and alliances shift like sand. So while Rand is just trying to survive, somewhere out there, kings and queens are playing with people's lives like they're just pawns. But even pawns can become something more, if they make it far enough across the board. Now here's something I didn't expect, the emotional punches. They're subtle, but they hit hard. A farewell that isn't dramatic, just a soft glance between two friends who know they might never see each other again. A quiet breakdown in a dark forest, when the weight becomes too much. A betrayal that doesn't come with shouting, but with silence. These moments? They stay with you, because they feel real, like pain you've felt yourself. And then, in the middle of it all, you get whispers of the pattern. This idea that every person, every choice, every mistake, it's all part of a grand design. And yet, free will still matters. That's the paradox. You're being pulled by fate, but your choices still shape the world. And that tension? It keeps the story alive. Keeps you questioning everything. Eventually, it all leads to a confrontation. No, not the confrontation, not yet, but something that changes everything. A realization that one of them truly is the dragon reborn. And it's not a moment of triumph. It's a moment of terror. Because now they know the prophecy is real. The world really is heading toward destruction. And the only way to stop it is to become the thing everyone fears. The one who broke the world once before and might do it again. But maybe, just maybe, he can break the cycle. And that's the heartbeat of the Wheel of Time. It's not just about magic or prophecy. It's about hope buried under fear. About young people trying to carry ancient burdens. About friendship being tested in the crucible of war and fate. And about the idea that maybe, just maybe, we're more than the roles the world assigns to us. So by the time you reach the final page of that first book, The Eye of the World, you're not just invested, you're in. The characters feel like people you know. the world feels real. And the questions echo in your mind. Can you trust destiny? Can you survive it? And if the wheel turns endlessly, repeating age after age, what does it really mean to be free? You close the book, and the silence is deafening. Because you realize, this wasn't just a story. It was the start of something much, much bigger. And the wheel? Feel like you're meant for more? It's still turning, but don't know how to get there? You're not alone. Every success story starts with doubt and a spark. The Self-Made Millionaire, Zero to Wealth isn't just a book. It's your roadmap to purpose, confidence, and success, built on real lessons from real millionaires. One reader said, "It didn't feel like a book. It felt like my future talking to me." Inside, you'll find the exact mindset and principles used by the world's most successful people. No fluff, just real, life-changing wisdom. Ready to take the first step? Get it 100% free. Just subscribe and comment "book" below.